Here we go. We live. Breaking Vegas, episode 13. I got my man Michael Ricks, former SFA Lumberjack, with another former Lumberjack, Dr. Break Vegas, baby. We were all down in the Piney Woods.
Let's get it.
Glad to have you on the show, fellas. I appreciate everything.
Thanks for having me.
Mike, I'm gonna start this question off with you.
All right.
I want to backtrack.
All right.
So, Mike, me and you teammates in SFA.
Right.
And I know as an athlete, sometimes, you always remember your highlights, the good moments. But at the same time, you always remember some of the plays that you wish you could have had over again. And so right now, I'm going to apologize to you off a dumbass play I made that kind of messed up because I got to play for Blaylock too. I wish I could have took back.
Let me hear it.
We was playing Montana, and
Right.
we had a bench route. And my ass ran dead into you on that bench route. I know you remember, because that was what? That changed the game. The linebacker ended up getting an interception. Me and he ended up trying to go for the ball.
Right.
It kind of changed the game.
You know what? I vaguely remember that now that you said that. But then I remember it was one play. I think we might have ran that play like a couple of times. And I remember I was wide open going down the sideline, man. And we were, when I look back, that sun was right in my damn face, man. I looked back and that ball just skipped off my hands, man. I know if I would have grabbed that, man, that would have been a touchdown. So I really forgot about that one with you.
Yeah.
But we lost the game because of you. That's what it had nothing to do with dropping that ball. But now,
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that one on the chin.
Yeah, man. I look back at that game, man, because we had played them the year before when it was cold, as I don't know what, man. And then we came back and they knew we had a fast team, man. They didn't even cut the grass for us, man, because they knew we was going to run up and down them. So they kept that grass tall for like an advantage, man. But it was a good experience, man. I look back at them now like that Big Sky division with like North Dakota and South Dakota State, man. They running, the FCS right now. So, but it was a good experience though.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna take that blame since I brought it up.
All right, I appreciate you.
But those who don't know, Mike had a career in the NFL playing with starting off with the Chargers in 98 with Ryan Leaf. He was the second pick that year in the draft. Went from San Diego to Kansas City, Detroit, and Dallas. And man, I just want to say I'm proud of you. And I hadn't really talked to you much since then. Since that day you got drafted, man, at Coach Davis' house.
Right, man. That was a hell of a ride, man, because I tell you, I didn't really expect to go and play at all. I mean, my thing was that, like, if I got a chance, it would probably be as a free agent or something, but I didn't really, I guess, blow up until like that last year. And the only thing that I could, attest it to is that, we had, Peanut and Jeff and all them, they had graduated. And that year before I played tight end and wide receiver. So, had a little bit of experience there, but then I think what helped me out a lot, the more I think about it, is that even though we played like those small schools, they had scouts that came in to watch those guys, those cornerbacks and things like that. And, they didn't have any film on me like your DB. So, I was just lucky enough to go out there and, torch them those first couple of games and it got my name out there. And so it just kept propelling forward. And that's what, helped my senior year be, I think, one for the record books for me. And I got a chance to play in the Senior Bowl and the blue-gray game and, caught a touchdown in both those games and then, just did well at the combine. So that's what really propelled my career.
Yeah, man. I mean, your senior year, man, you was really the offense, because everybody else was young. And,
right. I mean, going into that last game like that, and I still tell people we should have got into the we should have still got into the playoffs. But I think that was the same year that was the year before when Steve McNair, Alcorn, was playing, and their record wasn't as good as us, but they figured that he would bring more ratings, So we lost that last game at Northwestern, and I always tell people, like, I still hold the record for yards per catch. I think it's like 29.8 yards a catch, and going into that game, I think it was as high as like 34 yards a catch on that. So if you go through the record books, I always find myself looking at that old stuff, man. I had still got the yard per catch record, so it's something I'm holding on to.
I remember that play against Troy State. What was that, 98 yards?
Yeah, man. And that dude, it was so the DB, and it's funny how, because I know you want to talk about it, how everything intertwines from college to the NFL. So that one cat that was a good DB for Troy State, he was I guess the way the defense was matched up, that he really wasn't matched up against me. So that 99-yarder that we had, it was a fly route, but I guess the DB thought it was a hitch route. Ended up getting behind him, and then the DB that played for them, he actually got drafted the same year I did to San Diego to the Chargers.
Okay.
So he was there, and then of course he goes in, media day talking all this shit, talking about, yeah, man, I didn't guard him, but he wouldn't have had this big day and things like that, man. And then like got in the training camp and tore him up again. So that kind of worked out for me, yeah, man.
He won't open his mouth, so he ain't how it's supposed to end.
Just take a little bit.
So with that being said, we know you torched him in training camp, but what were your thoughts? What was the transition like from college to the NFL? Because I know you played better players and faced better players than him once you got to training camp.
So for me, it's like you was at Coach Davis's party, man, when I got drafted. That was my first time going through that, and it was just an experience because I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't expect to go in the second round like that, and then it was just an experience. Like everything just wrapped up really quick, and I want to give out a shout out to Bobby Becker. He was really into drafting small college athletes and things like that. And he just passed away last week, so I attribute a lot to him making it into the league just because he was, yeah, man. So he helped me get there. But Terrence Shaw was out there, in San Diego. So he I got a chance to lean on him, and he told me like how the league works, how practice works, and things like that. So it's like you said, I got drafted there, and Ryan Leaf was there, and I watched him, when Michigan played Washington State, and watched him and Charles Woodson go at it. So I didn't realize how big this dude was. Because dude was like he was like a good 6'6" and maybe like 260. He was a house. He was big and he could sling that ball, man. And so Junior Seau had one of these things, like any rookies that came across the middle or whatever it was, man, he light him up. No pads on, anything. He like, welcome to the league, rookie like that. Like he was laying into it. So
he was our trotter.
Yeah, he was out there. Yeah, he was doing his trot thing. So I got out there and, we did our first little mini camp. And, of course, I went up against T. Shaw. He got me a couple of times. I scored a touchdown on him. So, it was cool. I think I'm not going to say it's like a regret, but the only thing that that I would say that went wrong that rookie year was that it was just it was a lot to take in for like a bunch of rookies in that system that we were in. So if you have a play called, like a receiver might have like 4 different routes for like one play, so
based off of the coverage,
right. Yeah, so if he's man to man, face to face, you're running by him. If he's inside, you're running an out route. If he's outside, you run a slant. If he backs off, then you hook it up. So it was just one of those things. Kelvin Gilbride's system was just so hard, and then Ryan Leaf, he just didn't get that system. It was just tough. And then everything in practice went well. Then we went like 4-0, like in the preseason. So everybody's like, yeah, it's gonna. You got these rookies helping us out. We got a great offense. Man, that first game, I'm telling you, everything changes because you don't realize how much. And you used to see me like in practice. We was in meetings. I used to fall asleep. I was like, man, I know what I'm doing. I'm sleeping. And Coach Dave used to stay on me, man. But like, you don't realize how when you get to that professional level, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? Like you go in like at 6 o'clock, you study. You look at film, you get a couple of DBs. You got to look at their little nuances and things like that. So once we got into the league, it was just, DBs were just, they would man up and then they would back off. And so based on that coverage, I would adjust my route, but then
on the fly,
Ryan would throw that hitch route pick, or we would run like a fly route and then they go over the top and then I'd hook it up and then he'd throw it. So
y'all wasn't on the same page.
Went on the same page, and it's just hard for a rookie to get into it. And so Kelvin Gilbride, that was the head coach, he got fired like after 6 games.
Yeah, I saw June Jones end up being the coach after that.
And he was a great coach, man. He got me back into where I needed to go, but the organization was just headed south so fast. He didn't want that job. He didn't want that job at all. And he was a great offensive mind. He was with Atlanta for a while. And then after he didn't want that job, coach from USC came in, and he was like a big USC guy. So he had a bunch of coaches from Chicago they came in, a bunch of receivers that came from Chicago. So it was like Chris Penn, it was Curtis Conway, Jeff Graham that played for
People who
Philadelphia.
who he felt could run his system.
Right. And so what was so simplistic about that system is that I never ran routes from the left side. I was always on the right. And then it was to a point to where we didn't have an audible system. You're in the league, you don't have an audible system. So they could put like 11 men in the box, and if it's a run play, we got to run that. Or if they back off from cover. No, this is what Mike Riley.
That's
So
the second year then.
The second year, yeah. So he was a coach big time at Oregon State. He upset some USC teams, some Oregon teams, so they brought him in. And then he was just more of the coach, but I forget the coach's name now. I think he's with Wisconsin now, or he was a couple of years ago. It was him and his brother. So they ran the system, and then everything was just, it was so simplistic. Like Zach, we get up to the line, and DB could be like a Chris Dishman or James Hasty or Charles Woodson. He come up to like, we know what you're running. I'm like, yeah, you about to run this, and I'm looking. And because like it was so simple, and then we go back like, coach, man, they know our plays, and they're like, there's no way. I'm okay, like watch. And then our offense just went to hell.
You have no adjustment. That's horrible.
No adjustment. And then like one of the things that then like they would recycle the receivers every series. So I could have a series where I'm playing 3 and out, and then I got to come out, and then another receiver would run the next series. You might get like 15 plays. Then come out, and then I go back. It might be a pick. Then I cut. So it was no continuity to it, and it was just tough, and it was just hard for me just to see how NFL team could be, like run like that, and the receiver.
You felt better at SFA with the offense.
I did, and it was just crazy the way it was. But like the thing about the NFL and coaches and things like that, it's like I got ran out of San Diego. Because the receivers coach and a guy that I ended up playing with in Kansas City, he went to USC. He had this coach at USC, and we had discussions about him, the whole thing. So it was my second year underneath them, and I'm starting the season, playing well, whoop, whatever. And then it got to the point to where they wanted to try to fade me out by the trade deadline. I didn't know any of this. So what they're starting to do is like when you go into practice, if you're on scout team, you'll have a jersey of another team. Like I came in the league starting the whole thing, and then I started seeing his jersey. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like, oh, Michael, we're gonna have you run a scout team. We're gonna have, these other guys starting, blah blah whatever. I'm like, all right. So I just made it a point just to get better, and I made it a point to get better. I made it a point to torch our defense every play. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. And then that happened for like 2 weeks. And then what got me over the top is that they put me back in the starting lineup. And then we were going to, I think we went and played in Indy. And so get ready to get on the bus, finish practicing, went and got food, whatever, sit on the bus. The receiver coach came to me, he's like, Michael, you don't have to travel. You're not starting this week. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're going to go another route so you don't have to travel. But in my mind, I'm like, I've started the whole week. This whole thing. So I was like, all right, whatever. So they went up to Indy and, they got their ass drilled or whatever. So me being all pissed off, meetings, I didn't go to meetings the next day. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I didn't play. So, why the hell am I going to go to meeting and watch a film where I didn't play in? That was because they had did me dirty. So I went in on Tuesday. They called me in, and it's like, Mike, we need to bring somebody else in. We got to bring a linebacker up. So you're gonna take your roster spot. And I'm like, God damn. So it was just simple like that. So they take your playbook. They got what they call the Grim Reaper. He'll come in, he'll get your playbook, he'll take you out.
Like we see on the training camp, NFL Hard Knocks.
Yeah, and it's real, man. Because you at least you see how people get a chance to do things, and if they're not performing, you can watch that hard knock. You can watch a player if he's not performing, not getting the reps, if he's not running the routes right, if he's dropping the ball, he's not going to be there. But I was starting, I was doing everything they was asking me to do, and then instead of them telling me this is the route that we are thinking of going, then they just did it dirty like that. So yeah.
Mike Riley, yeah. You said the offense was simple anyway. Mo, did you have anything you want to ask my man?
No, man, I'm enjoying this conversation, though, actually.
All right. So, Mike,
Yeah.
I know you said it was kind of hard, but were there anybody that kind of took you under the wing on offense? I know you had T. Shaw as a former Lumberjack. Was there anybody on offense that kind of took you under your wing that kind of, all right, we're going to put you in the right direction?
We was a young team at that time, and so the only offensive cats that I was around was Freddie Jones. He was a tight end from North Carolina. He played basketball a couple years in North Carolina. So him and Natron Means,
Okay, I remember Natron.
Yeah, big old back. So it was just me. Like I started my first year there, and another thing that applied pressure to me was they had a great receiver at San Diego, Tony Martin, and Tony Martin it's the way the NFL is run. So the thing with Tony Martin is that he had an uncle, or he had somebody that was like big in the dope game, and they were trying to facilitate like money through him, like so he'd get his contract or whatever. So they're trying, how they do that laundering shit, man. And so they knew that was coming. So that was one of the reasons of drafting me. And then like as soon as I got there during training camp, they pushed him out. And then like that next year is when he went to Atlanta, and then Atlanta ended up playing, I believe it was Denver in the Super Bowl. So he was on the Super Bowl squad. So like he was gone.
That was with my man Jamal Anderson. That's when they were doing that Dirty Bird. I remember all of that.
When they were burning it up. And so he was gone. And then there was another cat, Brian Stills. He was from Virginia Tech. It was another guy, Charlie Jones. He was from Fresno State. So it was just like those guys. So I was just pretty much just out there by myself, just trying to learn. And the thing about it is, it's like you get to that point when you have like these vets that's been there for a while. There's a lot of them that's, when the attention's off of them, they get jealous and envious. So it was more of like those guys trying to, I don't say like do me dirty, but they really wasn't trying to help.
You just didn't have a good supporting cast to help you put you in the right direction, especially with the Ryan Leaf being a rookie too. So both skill positions, he can't tell you what worked for him because he don't know nothing.
Right. And the thing I tell Ryan had a bad go at it because he was a good dude, man. But like I used to, like during the off season, I used to go ride out with him. I used to stay at his house, man. He bought this mansion like off the coast in La Jolla, man. And I used to ride with him to Vegas and everything. But the thing that got him a bad deal was his people that was around him, like his little entourage. So he had cats that moved he was originally from Idaho. He had some people from Montana, so they came in, and then like they go to the casino and they're tearing stuff up. They not tipping people. They're being asses.
It ain't theirs. It's his.
It is. So he's the one to get looked at, man. And so it was a couple of instances like where he was at this restaurant, and he probably ran up like a $1,500 tab or whatever, and like when he go out and drink, he gets it in, man. And like the story was that he ran up with like almost like a $2,000 tab, and then he didn't tip the waitress. And so the way waitresses come by on that big party, they bust their ass like, was everything cool? Like, how was everything? And she's like, you didn't forget the tip. He's like, no, I forget the tip. So he's like, he put like a $5 bill out. He just threw it at her feet and then walked out. So that got him a bad deal. And then he ended up marrying one of the cheerleaders, whose dad was like a big real estate investor in San Diego.
No, ain't it?
Huh?
Ain't that a no-no?
Well, she used to be. She was. It's a no-no, but I think once they got together, then she didn't need to. She was just doing it just for the fame, being a cheerleader, because she'd already regretted up. And so they got engaged or whatever, and then it was before training camp. He hit somebody's helmet. He broke his thumb or whatever, and then he couldn't play in training camp. And so you always see the bad stuff that he does, but you don't see the stuff that leads up to it. So we was in La Jolla and at University of San Diego, and it was this couple, this redneck dude and his wife was sitting up in the stands. So like everybody was sitting on one side and they was like in the middle, like with nobody around them, and they were just heckling the hell out of him, talking about how much he suck or whatever. And then like the last straw, he's like, yeah, your fucking wife's a whore. You married a whore, right? And so the only thing you see on ESPN is him rushing to the stands, but they don't tell you what happened before that. So they always show the bad side, and then after that, I think they went 0-16. This was like after I left. They went 0-16. Then he ended up going to Dallas, and then he went to go coach, and then he got caught in college a couple of times breaking into like his players' rooms, stealing Vicodin, because all that pain that he was going through and nobody was there for him, man. He just got on painkillers real bad, and then like he felt that he wasn't worth nothing to his folks, so he pretty much just took himself to jail. He took himself to jail. He's like, nobody loves me, blah, blah, this and that. And then like he's like a main story of somebody like it turned his life around because now he's sober. He's married with a kid. He has I think he has a show on Fox or something like that. So he really turned his life around, man. So I'm proud of him for that.
How he started is how he finished. So props to that young man.
Yeah,
so I was gonna ask you, did you have any stories? I guess you had one. Can you have a story better than that before we start talking about some NIL, the little info that you do have on that?
I mean, it was just like just a ride that I went on. When I went to Kansas City, played under Tony Gonzalez, and he really helped me in Kansas City. So my first year there, and the thing that was like I got released probably like 6-7 games into the season from San Diego. I went and signed with Kansas City, and Kansas City at that time was 7-0. So it was a guy I played with in San Diego, Lou Bush. He actually was in Washington State, so he knew Ryan Leaf. He went from San Diego to Kansas City, and he's like, Mike, man, they do stuff a lot different here. You got to run to the ball. They believe you get in shape by going full speed. Man, my first week there, boy, I was gassed. Boy, I was panting. I was like on hands and knees, couldn't breathe, getting laughed at. So the second year going in, Dick Vermeil, after they won the Super Bowl with St. Louis, they came in and they told me, I didn't fit their prototype of wide receivers because they like the small receivers. Like they had Isaac Hakeem, they had Torrey Holt. They wanted those. So that's what got my switch from receiver to tight end. So I had to put some weight on. And I told coach, I'm like, man, if you let me really get it in, work at it, like I'll be a great receiver, like a great receiving tight end. So it worked out for me then. And then I was a free agent, went to Detroit, got a chance to see like Detroit's like a real grimy city, but they have like all these warehouse parties, these basement parties and thing. And then I got a chance to I hung out a couple of times there with Eminem before he blew up, before anybody even knew who he was. So like in the basement, like with Proof and all them. So it was like some parties like that. On
8 Mile.
I could have been, but nah, it was just cool, just going from San Diego to Kansas City. It's a different cultures, man. And I always tell people when I left, the only time I left the state of Texas is when we flew to like App State and Montana.
Yeah,
I never left Texas, so like it was pretty much me leaving Anahuac, Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas, going to San Diego to grow up, and do everything on. So that was just like a big experience for me, man. So it was a lot of cool people I met. I don't miss football at all. I'll tell you that. Like the politics into it, the harm on the body and things like that. But I had a good time, man, because I came from a town of like 1,200 people, man. So it was good, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Spikes and Walter Terry.
I don't think I played with him. All right. So I just want to say, who are some of the players you like watching today in the NFL?
You know what? I like watching players just dedicated to the game because, like as of now, like all the money that they have right now that they can get instantly. You'll see these cats get these contracts. They go for that big contract and they don't play at all. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Tom Brady because where Tom Brady came from, everybody hates him because so many Super Bowls that he won, they got tired of seeing him here, but he put the work in. So everybody's glad he's retired. It's good. It's good that he's out of there. But like I always tell myself, if I would have came out like 5-6 years later, I'd have been playing because when I was in Detroit, they said there was no such thing as a pass receiving tight end, and that's all you got now, or like big receivers like Mike Evans, big receiver, that's playing like that. So I like watching those guys. I'm just a big fan of just like watching schemes because I've played, and so I can like watch the game and tell what people are running. I can, I call out plays and do things like that. So just overall, I don't have like a favorite player, just because everybody's different. Because you could have a favorite player, then you could watch them take a few plays off. If you watch like a Stephon Diggs, Stephon's always going 100 miles an hour. He's blocking, he's doing the same thing. One of my favorite guys I watched was like Hines Ward. Because Hines Ward,
I love Hines.
And it was like one of the things that like one of the things I was taught, and I had to get into it. And as I was playing, it's like you're supposed to make every play look the same. So like every now and then you got the receivers and DBs, they brother-in-law, like, man, I'm gonna hold you. It's a run play, so I'm not gonna run hard. But like if you run hard, like it's a pass route. If you run a run play like it's a pass route, run through the DB. You know, they're shook. They don't know what's going on, and then you can get open for a route. And I always tell these cats here, I do some football camps around here, receivers and things like that, and I tell them, like, you have to go 100% on every play. You know, if you're tired, you know, get your break, come out. But just the receivers, the wide outs, the running backs, the tight ends that don't take plays off, those are the ones that I enjoy watching.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about Rashad, the former Florida quarterback that ended up leaving because the NFL fell through. And I think he's at Arizona State now. You said you had a look inside info you can share with us.
Right. So pretty much with that is that a lot of Miami is big here at Florida State. I mean, Florida probably hand out more money than the colleges in Texas. So what happened is that the company that was going to give him that $13 million, they weren't associated with Florida at all. So it was a luxury car dealership that had offered him that money. That had nothing to do with Florida. So when they backed out of the deal, that's when he didn't want to go there anymore. And so Florida didn't know anything about that. So that's why he wanted. That's why he. Yeah. So it was like that's why it was rescinded. You know, because he was betting on that money and they took it back. So I'm not getting the money. I don't want to go to Florida.
I mean, that's man. I was talking last week. Like that's life changing right there.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm just gonna read what I saw on the internet, and I don't know how true it was.
Right.
But let me show you what I saw. All right. So for his initial payment of signing, he was gonna get $500,000.
Okay.
$500,000. His freshman year, he was gonna get $250,000 a month. His sophomore year, $290,000. His junior year, $375,000. And then his senior year, $195,000. Like a month? Like that's ludicrous, man. And you know, my partner's like, you know, this is where we live, a capitalist society. They want to pay him for some services. Mike, NFL players don't make that much money.
Right. And I tell people the thing with it is because you have high school kids that's trying to make it to the league to be able to make that amount of money. Now it's like even if you go to a college like that, it's kind of like you don't have really anything to play for because you got that money. Now just God forbid if you go and hurt yourself, of course, like your draft stock, it drops. But it's like in my opinion, if that's some money that they should just say if they're going to give them, I think they should put it like in a trust or something. They shouldn't be able just to walk around with that money. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have these cats that are driving around in like Lamborghinis and Ferraris. They can get a new Lamborghini every month to drive around, or you know, never have to pay for nothing.
Mike,
really don't have to go to school if you think about it.
Mike, if coach dig off in your ass like they do in college, they definitely do it in pros, but they do that to you in college, and you making his salary within 2 months. You know what I'm saying? You can't coach that player.
You can't, and that's the thing. It's just like you can watch some of these. You can watch some of these players that's getting that money now, and you can see how their play has fell off because they don't have anything to play for. That's why I always tell people I love watching people. I love watching college sports because they're trying to get to that next level. They play to get there, but then you get the professional guys. You can watch the same player once he gets to the pros, and see how of a mental grind, a physical grind it is. They suck it up for 3 or 4 years till they get that next contract, and then they just level off. I tell people just like Ezekiel Elliott, he got that money. When's the last time he really played well? You see what I'm saying? Or Dak Prescott, Dallas giving him all that money off a bum ankle, and they say, "Now you shouldn't do it." Okay, I'm committed to him. Or well, now I'm gonna give him this money, all this guaranteed money.
The defensive end, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like you can get you a couple of nice contracts. You know, if you think about it, you know, if you play well, but then now you got these cats that's not practicing, and then now with everything with the concussions going on, people that's been playing well. Okay, I don't want these concussions. I had 2. I'm retiring early. You know what I'm saying? It's just about you get that money, just about how you invest it. But like you're saying, man, if I was making that much money in college, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. And that NIL is the NIL is messing up everything because now everybody's in that transport porthole.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
be careful what you wish for.
You got to, man. And it's just like once Deion went to Colorado, they had like over 1,000 players going to that transfer porthole.
Yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to Colorado too. They got a lot of stuff going on, and
so in that conference, so how well do you think they're gonna play?
How well do I think they're gonna play?
Yeah. How many games do you think they'll win this year?
7.
What, 12-game season? Damn, I had they scheduled too. I say 6. I say they'll be bowl eligible.
I think some of them had them because they're in that Pac-12. They had them, I think, winning 4 games. And that was like them beating like an Oregon State and like I think some other teams like San Diego State and maybe BYU or something like that. So it'll be interesting. I think you'll have them ready to go. But it's like even that money they give Deion, like the alumni didn't have that money yet. He going over there, you know, with a contract that's not guaranteed because they got to scrum up money for him to, you know, to coach there. So I mean, it's hitting the players just like the coaches, you know. So
well, we'll see. I mean, me personally, man, I kind of want him to stay at Jack State a little longer, but hey, that's just wishful thinking.
But so did you see that issue, or did you hear one of his reasons for leaving?
And you know, the ticket sales, and you know, they wasn't giving him this bonus, and you know, they were being sneaky about it. And you know, with Deion being Deion, all that he did bring to the table, I felt like he could correct those wrongs as well. I felt like him if anybody could.
Right.
And with him staying there and Ed Reed, like, it's strength in numbers. If we can get some more ex-NFL players there that want to, you know, go to that lower level to prove themselves, because ain't nobody finna do them like they did Jeff Saturday. So go there and help these young men out.
Right.
You know, and let's see if we can really, you know, make some noise, because in 2 years, I feel like Jackson State might be ready to compete at, you know, and beat some BYUs, you know what I'm saying? Right. Some Purdue, something like that.
Some Alabamas.
No, I didn't say that.
No.
I remember Deion said, like, we're not big enough, we're not ready for that yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I just said on the chat too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say maybe in 2 years they got Travis Hunter. He got the switch from Miami to Colorado. I don't know if he would have switched to JSU, and maybe that was the thing. Maybe he wasn't getting as many kids to make that switch to a smaller school as he would have liked. And so he just said, you know, he couldn't deal with it along with the other issues that was going on.
Yeah, so, and you're not getting rid of them cats that's in charge now, man. They're there for a reason. Because I know that whole thing at Reed was like, man, like we don't have any help. You know, I got the football team out here helping clean up stuff. I need money for this. Like, you know, they had that hurricane that came through, all that mildew, and they're like, man, it's been like this for 6 months and they're not fixing nothing. And so he, you know, Ed Reed, I'm not saying he's a passionate dude, but he's passionate like Deion Sanders, but Deion can articulate things the right way to come off, you know, like in a great way.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, and Ed Reed just blew his top, and they like, we don't want you here no more. And Ed Reed like, I'm not leaving. Like, nah, Deion and him talking like, man, it's best for you just to go, man. Just get out of there. So
that's terrible for the kids, though. I feel like that would have been great.
Right.
But you know, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
All right. You know, we appreciate you going down memory lane with us, man. Oh, and look who done showed up right when we done talking.
What's up, baby?
Man, Blaylock over there training people on that 30% incline treadmill running at 50 miles an hour.
Come get you some. Look at my dog in the back, man. He want to get in here so bad. Look at the back there, man. Get out of here.
Gotta rock him out.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I'm so glad to have you on here. We just got through talking about a little NIL deal, and I know you paying attention to it because what your son is a sophomore, finna be a junior next year.
Sophomore, man, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're gonna be coming at you about some deals and all that stuff too. Did you pay attention to the cat from Florida that reneged on his NIL deal, ended up signing with Arizona State?
Which one?
The
quarterback?
Yeah. They had he signed something for like 13 mil. They were gonna give him like half a mil just for signing. And when they didn't give him his money, he ended up, you know, reneging and going to Arizona State.
I wonder why they didn't give him his money though.
Well, Mike just chimed in on, he got
Mike,
some
why did they
inside.
give him his money, man? What's up?
Well, the thing is crazy. So Miami had offered him $8 million, to come, and then Florida
more
gave
than
him
just Florida.
13. So the deal is that it was a luxury car dealership that wasn't affiliated with Florida. That had promised him that money. So when they didn't come up with the money, whatever they were going to do, then he wanted to get out of that contract, that deal. You know what I'm saying? His signing. So, I mean, Florida didn't know much about it. They were just happy to have him there. But Florida's like, I'm not giving you that money, and so he had to book it. So
I wonder what he ended up getting at Arizona State. It ain't 13 mil.
They had to break the bank, man.
So
that's
let me
crazy though. Coming out of high school, making that kind of money.
But it lets you know how much these colleges are making off these kids when they come.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be able to give them
that's definitely true. All right. But he was the 82nd ranked player in the nation. So he's the 82nd ranked player in the nation getting that. What's these other cats? What's 50 getting? What's 25 getting? What's top 10 getting?
What's his name? Manning getting at Texas.
Oh man, and he at Texas.
Yeah, he already got an NIL deal.
The one cat, I think the number one quarterback, I think he's at USC. Manning was at Texas, and there's another dude that's at UCLA, like the top 3 out of the 5 quarterbacks. So
this cat was he was the 7th ranked quarterback in the nation, and like they don't want us to know. But that's a lot of money, and that's why I kind of see what's your thoughts on that. Giving that to a 18-year-old because they're an adult now. They don't really have to listen to their parents.
Yeah, exactly. That's the scary part.
Yeah. What you feel like in 2 years, you and your son gonna have a talk about it. I already know.
Oh no, listen, we already had a talk. We ain't gonna have a talk. We having it right now.
Look, what you saying to him? What you saying to him?
I'm like, look, bro, we finna put this money up. You ain't gonna need what you need all that money for? Like, you don't need. Look, you getting a scholarship, the school paid for,
room and board.
They give you meals, they give you a stipend. That money's going in the bank. You finna invest your money.
Trust fund, man.
Yes.
Do it.
Let it sit on it.
That's it.
Do them like Allen, how his agent set up Allen Iverson.
Yep.
Oh, when he hit a certain age, he get so much millions or whatever.
Exactly.
That's what they gotta do it, man.
Appreciate all our viewers. We love it.
Right.
Okay, so you had another one. Your son, he just graduated from Wisconsin. I see you representing the Badgers, and you had your son. I hated to see him in that Bearcat orange, but he left. Where did he go?
Hey, I didn't want to see him in that orange either, man. It hurt me to wear that orange, man. I just want to tell y'all now, man. I apologize.
Hey, money talk, man. All it takes is that one, and that's where we go.
Wearing the orange, man, but hey, it is what it is. They paid for him to come up there, so hey.
So where did he go now? Didn't he transfer?
He's at Lindenwood now.
Okay.
Lindenwood. It's like
it's up north, right?
St. Charles, Missouri.
Okay.
Right by St. Louis. Right by 20 minutes St. Louis.
Is that where Rod Strickland is the basketball coach?
I don't think so.
Okay. I know he had
I'm not sure though.
Basketball.
I don't know nothing about the basketball and stuff.
Okay. So before we move on, I had to apologize to Mike off a play that we had back in the day. I got to talk to you. I text you. I told you. And now I'm remind you to play, man. All right, Mike. But Maurice, we was playing New Hampshire, and we was doing 2-minute drill. And I could not hear Wes on the play call. And I'm like, damn, I'm trying to let him know I don't see it, but I'm gassed. So I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna run a slant. I was like, I break off my right foot and I see it's a run. And I kind of, throttled down and you broke through the hole. If my ass would have knew the play, I could have got that block and you would have scored, man. It was like, and I was like,
did we win that game?
No, we did not. It was a close because, like Mike, what you said in Montana, where they ain't cut the grass, New Hampshire was the same. They cut the grass that morning.
Right. That's crazy.
Grass. Hey, that's clippings crazy. All on there, man. Hey, man, they did us dirty.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. So just so you know that goes to the league too. My first year in Kansas City, we went up and played in New England, and when Priest Holmes was running back there, so everything we were running outside zones and sweeps. We played in New England, and it was like in mid-December, so it was cold. Man, the middle, right up the middle between the hashes was nice, and it was nice and cut. The outside,
Numbers.
all right, it was high, but then these jackasses turned the sprinklers on. The sprinklers they weren't even on the middle of the field. Everything was so like, man, we hitting those outside zones, everybody's slipping and falling, we couldn't run routes. So New England been cheating for a long time. Just so
A long time.
a long time. They've been cheating for a long time, dog.
But see, that's the thing, those certain coaches, because I want to say, they say Jimmy Johnson saw that San Francisco had did that to them one year, and he knew, what side of the field to run certain plays on. So yeah, them little nuances, the coaches, man, who pay attention to little nuances like that, that's what make them great.
So have you ever Dallas Stadium before they moved? That stadium, so when Emmett was running back there, they had the crown on it.
Oh, okay.
So like it goes, so like when they hit, I mean, it's like you're running downhill for real. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, they got a crown on it, man.
All right, Block. All right, quick questions. You didn't get to go down memory lane before we get into all the stuff. What are some memories that you have going into the league? Some of the players who took you under their wing. Some of the couple of experience you can give us, real quick, since you.
I would say, some of the players that took me under were Kansas City, of course, with Priest and Tony Richardson. I mean, they were like the main dudes that kind of showed me the way. I got a funny story about them, man. Like one game, I forgot what game it was, bro, but it was cold. Like super cold, it get cold in KC, so it was cold. Yeah. So running backs, I'm from Texas, so it's hot. I ain't never been that cold. You know what I'm saying? So we getting dressed. Shoot, I go in there, I throw my sleeves on. Them boys stop me and say, "Hold on, whoa. We don't wear sleeves. Running backs don't wear sleeves."
Oh,
and no, bro, you gotta take them off. So they made me take them mugs off, boy. I was freezing, but hey, that's one of the things about them. Like, look, they said, man, look, it's a tradition around here. Like, you're not wearing them sleeves.
So let me ask you,
no funny story. I got a funny story for you.
They put you on game with the Vaseline and the icy hot?
Vaseline
and the icy hot.
Yeah, the Vaseline for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So my dad played at Baylor. Y'all can see back here. He played with Mike Singletary.
Okay.
He had another cat, Radar. He went and played for the Buffalo Bills. So this is like the early 80s in Buffalo. It's cold. It's colder than Kansas City, right?
Oh, yeah, but definitely in Buffalo. So
he's like, once they found out they had to go practice outside in the cold, some of them goddamn players start crying. I'm like, no, Radar. Yeah, Radar. I said
they were crying.
They say they start crying. I was like, OMG, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, that was a funny story I'll never forget. Because you wouldn't expect to hear that. So yeah, my boy Radar Hope.
I'm cold to do that to you.
Man, how did those hits feel when it's that the weather's so cold like that? Like, cause y'all took a lot of impact, from big players.
Home field advantage too.
I think after a while you get used to it, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people say like you get, and I know Blaylock knew how loud it was in Kansas City, man. It's like you zone out. You like it's loud to you, but like you don't hear all that. So the same thing, once you start running around and tippy toeing in that cold, man, it's like you think you're getting hit. They don't want to hit you either, man. So it's like it's not. You crunching up, so they just like, okay, I'm just gonna push you down, because it's, and then you don't want to hit the ground because the ground's hard.
Ground's hard. So,
all the way around.
Everybody's on the same page out there, man. Everybody knows cold. So I was like, look, man.
It ain't so.
Chill out, bro.
Too much. Yeah, man.
All right. Okay, you talked about NIL. All right. Block coming from Kansas City. Both of y'all played at Kansas City. Are y'all leaning that way, or do y'all have a favorite that y'all feel?
Come on, man. Why you even
I gotta know, man. I gotta ask, don't I? Can't
I don't know. Mike might be leaning towards the Eagles, bro. But
like I was saying before, I'm a fan of football, so I look at stuff. I watch the game. So now Philadelphia got off easy because San Fran didn't have a quarterback.
And thank you. Like super easy.
Right. So I think that they would have exposed that secondary for Philly. Okay, so that now in retrospect to Kansas City secondary is so young. If it turns into like a run and shoot game, then that's fine. But then those linebackers want to stop up and like stop the run, so it could go either way. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I'm looking for Kansas
I
City.
do though. I feel like it's gonna be high scoring because I don't think Kansas City secondary is that good. Because to me, I feel like and please chime in. I feel like Philadelphia, their best weapons are their receivers and their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna mix their run game in, but their best weapons is the outside, and it's all on their play call. I know it's their coach first, year, being there, but they got a good thing going on. And on the back end, I feel like that's Kansas City. Worst part about their team is their D.
Right. And
so I feel like,
and that's one of the things. Like even with the offensive side with Andy Reid, you give him 2 weeks, he's gonna come up with a whole game plan like you ain't never seen before. So that nuance. But then, you look at Kansas City, they don't really blitz too much. They only blitz like on third down once in a while, but they play zone. So maybe they will get a chance to try to switch that up. So, try to take some chances or something. So,
Block, how you feeling?
Man, I feel like Mahomes not 100%, man.
Right.
Okay. There we go.
That's the part that's scary for me. And then you got like receivers that's out.
There we go.
But even with that being said, Mahomes is Mahomes, bro.
Yeah.
Kelsey is still available. Your Juju's still available. You still got my man in my Pacheco. What's his name? Pacheco? Pacheco?
Mm-hmm.
Running back.
Yeah.
He's still available. So
I think Tony's playing. I think the only receiver, the one that came over from the Giants.
Okay. I know. Ladarius Tony. Kadarius Tony.
They was out, and I think they put Hartman on IR.
Hartman is on IR. I know he's on IR.
You give him a couple of weeks, man. I'm telling you, like even with Mahomes, man, I played with a high ankle sprain my second year, man, and you just shoot that bitch up with some quarters on, and you play 4 quarters, and you can take all season off and get that back right. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, you do that thing, bro. All it takes is that thing to get hit the wrong way one time, bro.
But you ain't gonna feel it. What I'm saying, you suck that up for a Super Bowl. Come on now.
No, I know he's gonna play, but I'm just saying he ain't gonna be the same though.
He gonna get another shot at halftime anyway.
Right.
All right. So
yeah,
let's just do this. All right. So who have the better weapons?
Eagles got the better weapons.
So Eagles have the better weapons. All right. So because you brought up Juju. Juju is better as a number 2. They don't really have a number 1. So to me, how the hell does Kelsey keep getting so open? Is Philly gonna drop that?
You got to account for just because they're not number 1s and number 2. You got to account for them. You can't just let them see the field good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cover the guys.
So the way it's gonna go, Kelsey gonna be the number 1. Whoever's playing running back, that's number 2. You see what I'm saying? And then like in Juju and all them, they're gonna be like whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because like they run that offense to a point to where they swing that back out, and it's just like a either a wide running play or like a screen.
So so we don't like Philadelphia defense.
Yeah, I mean they got a good D line, but then like it's like I'm saying the secondary ain't really.
I thought they had the little Johnson cat. Don't they got the Johnson cat from the Saints? Like they made some. Oh, they got Sue on the D line. I feel like if Purdy didn't get hurt, we have a better feel of what Philadelphia was about because the way they kicked the Giants' butt, man, it was just like whoa, didn't expect that. And then Purdy go out.
Hold on. You didn't expect them to beat the Giants?
Not like that.
Come on now. They still the Giants, bro. Now come on now.
But that's the NFC though. The NFC this year it sucks.
Okay. Block, we're gonna have to make sure you talk to us before we make them bets next year. But yeah, man, I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I mean, and I'm so construed because for one, Andy Reid got his start in Philly. So just them ties alone, that's when he had his learning, his ups and downs. This is what made him who he was when he got to KC. But at the same time, I have a lot of respect for Philly because they'd have been to 2 Super Bowls with 2 different coaches and 2 different quarterbacks. And with Wentz and Foles, and now with Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Like,
Sirianni was in Philly with Reid for a long ass time. So like he brought him up through that system.
No. I've read something that he fired Sirianni when he was in Kansas City, and that's why he kind of got a grudge because he didn't keep him on his staff once Reed got to Kansas City.
He was with him at Philly.
Oh, okay.
Then he took him to Kansas City. Then he had to make some personnel changes. Then he fired him, and then he ended up going to, I think, the Chargers. Then where'd he go to? Indy. And then ended up getting that head coach.
He worked his way. He ain't give up.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So we feel like Philly got the better weapons.
I feel like they got the better weapons. Like
we already know who got the better coach, and that's Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What else? Do we feel like special teams gonna be a big factor? I can't really say who got the better special teams.
I mean, I think that. I mean, I forget who it is running that ball back for KC, but
it's the running back.
Pacheco?
Yeah.
Number 10. Well, there you go.
KC got the advantage.
Okay.
Special teams and kicker.
Yeah. Buckman. All right. So then
they got
we're gonna give Mahomes a better quarterback, but who's gonna get a better defense too?
Philly.
Eagles. You gotta go with Philly, bro. I mean, you gotta go with them with the better defense.
Right.
And I think that's going to be the difference maker. With a Mikhael not being 100%, that's why I'm leaning towards the Philadelphia Eagles. Just on that offensive side, though, wide receivers are a lot better to me. And you have Jalen Hurts, who's not 100%, but I think he's healthier than Mahomes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think about it, throughout the year, we were talking about Kansas City was barely covering. You know, they got better throughout the year, but I just think Eagles gonna have enough to pull it off in the end.
I feel like KC can't let Hurts beat him with his legs.
Yeah, and that's what my boy said on the chat. I didn't even look at the spread yet. Let me check this spread out.
I think that's gonna be the thing. If they let
like 10.5 or something.
It's what?
The spread was like 10.5, I want to say.
I got 1.5. They got Philly by 1.5, man.
1.5.
Philly. I didn't think they were gonna have Philly 1.5. When the last time Mahomes been an underdog?
When he underdog when they played Cincinnati?
That's because he was hurt.
He the underdog when he hurt. That's why he underdog.
Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan. Simply because when the shit hit the fan, you know Mahomes is gonna do some shit that you're gonna be like, what did I just see?
Right.
On the same foot, when Dak shit hit the fan, Dak gonna throw a pick. He's just not gonna make those plays. And to me, that's what makes the quarterback and the team better because they know something gonna go wrong.
Right.
Who gonna make it right no matter what?
Right.
That's what we got to find out about Jalen. We're gonna see this game gonna show us a lot because the NFC Championship game didn't.
No, it really didn't. It really did. But he's a gamer though. Like I think did they beat Indianapolis? I think they had a real tough game against Indy.
Yeah, they did. They had a tough game. They won.
It was real tough and it was real hard on him. But then he started using his legs. You know what I'm saying? They was able to pull it out. So I think he been in some tough games. So
all his life.
I'm expecting it to be a good one, man. I'm expecting it to be a good one. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Not at all.
Nah.
I got you, Mike.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
everything, man.
Hey, man, I got to head out to another conference call for work, man. But it was great catching up with you guys, Black Mo, man. All right, man. Let's do that again, baby.
You're gonna be a guest again, man. Don't even worry about it. We appreciate everything. Great day to be a Lumberjack, baby. All Lumberjacks in the building.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you, bosses. All right.
All right, man.
All right. So yeah, that's why I'm like I'm construed, man, because I was a big Jalen Hurts fan this year, and you know, I liked everything about him because once he got AJ Brown, it's like they went from 60 to 90. You know what I'm saying? They was learning things because I want to say that was just so crazy that last year the damn running back Miles Sanders, they lead the league in rushing. He didn't have one touchdown.
That's crazy.
What are those odds? And so I just knew that this year was going to be a better year for him alone. But I think he really, what they say, his second year, this is his second year being a starter, he made a big leap. He made the transition and say, you know, this is I belong now. And this next game is going to show, you know, if he really is capable of even more.
I think the Eagles, I mean, defensively, Kansas is not that strong. I mean,
They're really not. They got one of their starting linebackers out too. I think Willie Gay is out.
So let me look at this over.
That's gonna be tough.
51. So we feel like they both can score 26.
what the weather look like?
It's gonna be 65. It's gonna be some good football. But they're playing a dome in Arizona, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they got a dome in Arizona.
So
I think they can get 50 points.
We're gonna get 51. Easy.
Well, we gonna buy them. You ain't gonna buy the one.
No. I think they'll get that easy.
They're gonna get 51.
Yeah. I'm buying the one. I can't help it. I'm gonna hate myself if I don't. But man,
51.
I think they're gonna be gunning.
Well, I gotta go with the Chiefs, man.
I think they're gonna be gunning too, but I don't know if it's gonna be that high.
They're gonna put some points. So Mahomes gonna give you 21. Him and Kelsey, because we was talking to Mike earlier, and he was talking about how Ryan Leaf, him and Ryan Leaf got drafted together the same year. Ryan got first, and he was second. And once the time, to put up and shut up, they didn't just know how to make adjustments on the fly. You see that every week with Kelsey and Mahomes.
Right.
That last touchdown that he was gonna run, I think he was gonna run a corner route. And they just adjusted on the fly, man. And that's the kind of things that you can't coach.
Right.
You can't coach. And that's why I'm really scared to bet against Mahomes, because you say that, you've been saying all the time about Brady, but I think Mahomes gonna make that even more true. He's scary.
Yeah.
You been to a game up there yet?
I haven't, man. That's crazy, man. I haven't been to a game yet.
You stunned, man.
I done been to, and actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, my favorite team right now, my number one team is the Steelers, bro. That's my team.
Steelers. So you've been to a game up there?
I've been to a couple Steelers games.
Yeah, I want to go to a Steelers. That's on my brain. I want to go to a Philly game.
Why the Steelers?
Why the Steelers?
I can tell you why.
Why is that?
Anytime I wear a lot of hats. If you wear a Steeler hat, there's not. I guarantee somebody's going to be a fan that you run into that day, and they're going to be like Steeler Nation. Like I promise you, there was like a day I didn't wear that hat that no one said Steeler Nation. Okay, so then once you talk to somebody that's a Steeler fan, and like, man, have you ever been to a game? It's like, we go to a Steeler game on game day. Like, everybody's decked out in Steeler. Like, it's a small country town, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, damn, I want to go see that kind of, support and love for the game, like they overseas, they do for soccer. That's how the closest we have right there. And then they've only had 3 head coaches in the history of the game. So I respect that franchise out of all. I don't have no favorite team in football, but I respect that organization out of all.
Yeah.
So that's just my little 2 cents.
So that was actually when I finished playing, like my first game ever going to was a Steelers game. And the reason why I went is because my running back coach that was at Kansas City was the running back coach at the Steelers. So he could, hooked up the tickets and all that. So, bro, game day is insane. It's insane. I mean, they waving the terrible towel, bro. They, in the fourth quarter, they blacked the screen out, the stadium, and then they just play. You just hear like they play this song, like the fight song for the Steelers. God, what's that song? You'll know it, man. I know it, but I
can't think of it right now.
But then it just come on like the bass and the coming out the speakers is just hitting like boom, 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 and you just feel it all across the stadium, bro.
Just energize the whole stadium.
On the screen, and man,
it's just home field advantage.
Listen, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
All right. So, as a player, what's a stadium like that you can compare it to?
Arrowhead. I mean, Arrowhead was crazy too. Like when I was playing, like they were saying like the Titans were the loudest. They had the
Eddie Jordan. No, Steve McKnight wasn't there. Still was he?
Was he? Yeah, I think he was there. Was he there? Let me see.
I got my man up here.
Yeah, I think he was there. Let's see. He had to be there.
So
yeah, they said they was allowed because they would pump like music in there though. They would put like speakers and like put like some like loud like somehow they would make their stadium like crazy loud.
I like
It
that
was
little
just
stadium.
fans. I think it was like more like they had like a speaker, a big speaker, like screaming or something like that. But anyway, Arrowhead is crazy too.
Okay.
But I mean, can't beat the Steelers, bro.
All
Can't
right.
beat the Steelers.
All right.
And this is another thing that sold me on the Steelers, bro. We was in the stands, man. And it was like this one fan down here beside us, man. It was like third down. Bro, he got up. He started screaming, said, "Y'all get up. Get up. They need us. They need us down there." I was like, "What?" And everybody just got up and started like, so that fan right there just telling everybody to get up. Hey, man, our team need us down there, man. I was like, bro, this crazy.
Hey, that's what I said. I like that kind of fandom, being a fanatic like that, because on my bucket list, I want to go over to Europe. I want to see one of them Premier League games over there. You know, I just like being in that kind of environment.
It's gonna be crazy over there.
All right,
Folks get trampled over there.
Hopefully they don't think about that when I decide to.
Not that day, huh?
All right. So for this Super Bowl 2-pick parlay, they got Philly at 1.5. So I'm gonna buy the 1.5 for Kansas City to cover 3 points, and I'm gonna buy that they cover 50 points. That's gonna be my 2-pick.
You said they're gonna score 50.
Yeah, combined. You don't see that?
Oh, man.
I need to go look at Super Bowl because there's like, and we feel like Philly got the better defense.
28-24.
You think it's gonna be 28-24? That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
You see Philly scoring that many points?
Philly put up numbers this year.
Well, okay, so
Yes, who?
Philly was putting up numbers.
Well, yeah, early in the season, we're gonna see, because we say they got them outside threats. And so they scored 31 against the Niners, they scored 30 against the Giants. In the end of the season, they weren't really putting up a bunch of points, but they had played with I was gonna say they had played with Minshew, Gardner Minshew, a couple of those games. I can't remember which ones. So let me go back.
You better go back and look, man.
All right. So look here. What the hell? There's no way. So they say Kansas City averaging 29 points a game, and the Eagles are averaging 28 points a game. Kansas City average giving up 20 points a game, and Philly average giving up 7 points a game. Philly gonna give up more. Patty gonna put up more than 7 points.
Oh, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
more than 7.
So most definitely they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that 3 times at least. You know, but yeah, I think I might do 2. Now I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna go with the over, man. We're gonna see some good offense, man. We got 2 young quarterbacks. We got receivers. Are their best weapons? Their best threats are the receivers. So they're gonna find a way to get them open.
It's gonna be 2017, bro.
2017. Hey,
that's a good number too.
Yeah, it is. It is. I can
ain't
roll
50
with that.
points, though.
Say that again.
I said it ain't 50 points.
It's not.
We're not claiming to be experts on this. We just claiming to know a little something, But
I think it'll be 2017.
2017.
I think a field goal might win it.
It's definitely gonna be a field goal.
We're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna hold you to that, Block. All right. So with that, we're gonna transition into the NBA with the man known as King LeBron. I don't know his middle name, James. And with him being the NBA scoring leader, do you fellas feel like that automatically makes him the GOAT?
No.
What's up, Block?
We've been talking about this all day, bro.
Oh.
Did he get back in the game?
All right. Well, then I'm
gonna play no too.
Did he get back in the game last night? Because I left.
His ankle hurt. His foot hurt, man.
Oh, so his ankle was well enough to break the record.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't well enough to win that game.
Too many people in the stands last night not to, show up for
He did what he had to do, man.
Come on now. And so we was talking Michael Jordan. Do you feel Michael Jordan would have sat out the remainder of that game?
No. I don't think so.
Nice play.
I know he would.
These are the things that you got to consider. Points is nothing. That's the case we can say Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back of all times.
Right.
Right? Off of numbers.
You right.
You're right.
So I just don't think he has the killer instinct that's comparable to not even Kobe, yet alone Michael Jordan. And that's a big difference maker.
Block, what you had to say on you say that make him a GOAT?
Man, it's hard, bro. Like it's hard, bro. It's a hard topic.
You don't have to say it. I'll just take that answer from you. You don't want to say, but you recognize him as a great, and you don't want to.
He is a great.
He's a great.
All right, and so if you like sports, man, you had to have had this conversation today since he broke it.
Yes.
So, and that's why I want to talk about it. So to me, and I text my friends, I say LeBron's biggest advantage in the league is his health, because that's the number one thing he went into the league, his health and his athleticism for his body. Right. My man is like the size of a DN. He's bigger than DeMarcus Lawrence, Myles Garrett playing basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That is an advantage.
Yeah.
So Kobe and my man MJ, they didn't have that advantage. They met some people in the paint. You can get right here. They met some people in the paint. So I had a Facebook post where MJ was like, I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest of all time, because the NBA is different in different eras.
Yeah.
In the era that LeBron James is in, to me, the paint is wide open. Well, we saw MJ spin off the glass. LeBron James ain't really got to go to that extent to get his points.
Right.
So, I'm gonna call him a great. I'm just not gonna call him a GOAT.
Yeah, he's not the GOAT. And then even to add on to that, when did LeBron come into the league?
Ooh, 03.
When?
03.
Michael Jordan had the opportunity not only to play with the greats back then, he came back out of retirement as an old man and put up 50 with the new era. With the new era. Come on, man.
Come on, whoever's watching, want to see y'all. What y'all got to say? Chime in. We got 4 viewers, baby. We want to hear some.
Why didn't Mike break the record?
Break what record?
The points.
Oh, okay. So
he sat out 1 year too. Was it 2 years or 1 year?
2 years.
He retired for 2 years.
I don't think that was a goal he was trying to achieve. The goal that he was trying to achieve was the 3-piece, something that had never been done, but I don't think it was just the points that he was trying to attain. He just wanted to, MJ and them did 2, Magic and them did 2-piece or whatever. I want to do a 3-piece. And that was his, claim to fame, like top that.
Because how many defensive players of the year did he win?
I just saw that. What's the name? Your boy Skip put it out there for everybody to know.
Skip Bayless?
Oh yeah.
What'd he say?
Let me see what Skip. Let me go back and see what Skip said. Skip's something else, man.
Yes, he is, man. Skip is something else. And I love that Shannon Sharp is on there to go right back and forth with him.
Bro, Skip gonna let you know. Skip said LeBron has played 338 more games than MJ did.
Oh, okay.
Yet, MJ won 10 scoring titles.
Come on now.
LeBron James won.
Come on.
MJ 3 steals titles to LeBron James 0.
Come on.
Defensive Player of the Year and 9-time first team All D.
Come on.
Now hold on. LeBron James should have got it a couple years. They gave it to fucking Kevin.
9-time first team.
No, they gave it to Marcus All.
To LeBron James 5. So he had 9. LeBron had 5.
Okay.
Let's see. MJ 5 and 4.
I like that shit. Appreciate that.
MJ 6-0 in finals.
Come on now.
6
How many
MVPs.
How many different teams did he play with?
How many did he play with? 2. There was 2, right?
And Washington don't even count.
That one don't even count. We're not even counting that one. He just came back.
All right. So Block, my man, my former coworker, he say if Kareem would have started playing in the NBA when he was 18, just guess what that record would have been. All right. And I'm going to also add that Kareem only made 1 3-pointer.
Exactly.
It's
that's fact.
1
3.
Yes.
That's facts.
Bam. We got my man
going there for, man. What's up? Your mic. Put your mic on. Put your mic on, Doc.
Yeah, I turned it off. I need to turn my volume down.
That boy look like he cold. You cold? You outside?
Yeah.
He's right here next to me.
Yeah, man.
Can't you see the background?
Oh.
Let me see.
Y'all in the man cave.
Can't hear y'all, man.
My room. You can't hear us.
Man, come on. What you got to say, man? LeBron the GOAT?
You hear him?
The GOAT? Man. I like y'all's arguments, man, with the errors. So that's already one that's tough off the bat to me.
Thank you.
The greatest of all time. I'm not really afraid to say, yeah, he is, just because, man, longevity. This dude is on year 20, averaging 27.
But the game is different though now. The physicality is not the same. Like them boys is not physical today in the NBA.
And MJ played 82 games like every year.
Yes. The physicality is different. Just like the point I made, that boy Michael Jordan played in both eras. And even at 50 years old, put up 50. It might have been 60, I want to say. Was it 64 points he put up when he played with Washington against this era?
I understand that, but so we're faulting the guy for taking advantage of the error. Is that what we're gonna do?
I mean, but when you're talking about the greatness, the physicality is totally different. I just don't see. I think Michael Jordan would be doing. Well, I ain't gonna say that because he's not playing in this era. Everything is, hypothetical. So.
Okay, so we talked about the physicality of the game.
Yes.
LeBron James is gonna struggle in the Michael Jordan era?
I do because
yes.
I'm just going.
Spoke about LeBron's the physical aspect nature of it.
Yes, and I feel like that was an advantage for him to be in the league so long. That added to his tenure in the league, but at the same time, I feel like that was his biggest advantage in the game. Like MJ, he had a killer instinct. Kobe had
killer.
What's Kobe's best attribute? His relentlessness. And I just can't say that LeBron James. Well, I guess his IQ. Is that what we're gonna say? Is LeBron James' biggest
attribute?
Okay, to me, I feel like if you take Tim Duncan and you like, what did he bring to the game? We know what Tim Duncan brought to the game. I feel like when you ask what LeBron brought, I feel like he tried to wear too many hats. I feel like you can only be so much for a team, for your team to be great. And that's why I have so much respect for the Spurs, because you have Parker, who had his way, his knack of being great. You have Ginobili, who had his way of being like, everybody had their niche. But when it came to LeBron, he just had to wear too many hats to where his team couldn't really be as complete as he needed them to be in that last series, that last game of the season, the final.
And not stepping up when it's your time to take the shot, last shot. You don't allow no one else. Allen Iverson would have never allowed anyone else to take the final shot. This is your team. You don't pass the ball.
So making the right basketball play and winning the ball game is
they lost.
All right. So he say making the right play.
So in one instance they lost.
Well, couple instances that he passed up. So they lost.
Okay. I don't care about
40, a triple double with 40 points in a finals.
Maybe you didn't have to have a triple double, but he did. He's great. And like I said, he wore too many hats. You wore too many hats. Like, we all know Steph is great, but allowing Draymond to be who Draymond is makes them better somehow. Steph don't have to have the ball. He allows somebody else to do that. That's a bonus. That's what you need. You need the teammate to worry about somebody else instead of you all the time having to do it all. I'm gonna score all the points. I'm gonna get all the rebounds. I'm gonna get all that. Just too many hats to me. That's I'm gonna die believing he wore too many hats. But I lost my other thought.
He well deserving. He's definitely a great. I think he solidified top 5.
Yeah, he solidified top 5, man.
He solidified top 5, but he's not the GOAT.
If nothing else, we can at least say he's worked his way legitimately into the conversation.
Okay, and I'm gonna end with this one. You can't lose to the Mavs. You can't lose to them in the finals. And I think he got lucky against the Spurs one year.
You can't lose to the Mavs.
No, you can't lose to the finals to the Mavs.
Why not?
Not to be the GOAT.
Or they even
That's the series they got to win.
They're going to the playoffs this year?
Who?
The Lakers.
Lakers. Yeah, they're gonna get a last minute trade here. They'll make that.
They're not getting no trade. Westbrook.
They're gonna make the
they stuck.
They're gonna get KD.
Oh Lord, don't say that.
It ain't looking like they're making
so
the playoffs.
mad. I don't want to see that.
These Mavs gonna make the playoffs. They going to the championship.
Okay, so we're gonna transition off Bron, man. More power to you. You changed the game. You were the most dominant player in this era.
He is.
You know, congrats. You know, you can't talk about basketball the last 20 years without talking about LeBron.
Right.
Facts.
You know, he did his thug thizzle. You know, I just have a preference for other players over LeBron as the GOAT.
Yeah.
All right. So you just talked about Kyrie and Luka, and that's the last topic I wanted to talk about. How do we like that combo? Mo?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trade was great because this is a prove it for Kyrie.
Prove
you know,
so
this is a prove it. Huh? Say it again.
He's gonna be on his best behavior.
He has to be if he's trying to get another longevity, a big contract before he retire. He has to prove it this year.
Okay, so when he went to Boston, we thought he was gonna do that, right?
No,
he didn't. Then when he went to Brooklyn,
he didn't want to be in Boston.
We thought he was gonna do, you know, make smart. So you know, that's my only thing, man. He's so much of a unpredictable person. You know, I love his skills. I love everything about what he brings on the court, but it's like he wants to be in the spoken of in the same like he's LeBron, you know, but you not LeBron. We don't, you're not the topic of subject like that. So, you know, stay in your little quaint space, play ball, you know, and see if you can be enough, you know, win another ring.
Now that I agree, he do his job as a professional basketball player, but I'm not gonna fault him for making a stance on something he believes.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that either. I'm just, you know, like when he was in Boston, it wasn't nothing about no stands, and like he just was extra.
I didn't think he want to be in Boston though. To be honest with you.
Taylor, man, what you got to say?
How did he get there? Was it a trade
To Boston? What? That's where he went when he left Cleveland, right?
Yeah, Cleveland traded him.
They traded him to Boston.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was mad at Danny Ainge for that one. I loved Isaiah Thomas and what he did for them that year.
He did, man. They did him dirty.
Man, I would like fuck Danny Ainge, but he got my respect because Utah still was relevant. I'm like, damn, I didn't expect Utah to be, you know, playing like this. So he know what he's doing. I just don't respect it.
I think Kyrie gonna be straight because of the relationships he has in Dallas. Nico, the GM. Is one of
the Nike dude.
Yeah, the relationship he has with Jason Kidd is going to be straight, and I just think he knows how to. I think that combination. We're gonna make one more big trade too. We're gonna get some defense. We could get rid of Christian Woods.
So it's about to be by tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get. Trust me. The times that we've made big trades, they have all panned out to be good for us. And we know how to trade them away.
Rondo.
He said, "What about Rondo?"
He said, "Not the Rajon Rondo trade."
Yeah,
and I wasn't a fan of them getting Kemba Walker either. But you know, I don't know if his knee was the reason he couldn't. You know,
he was on, you know, for a 10-day contract, so that wasn't really a pickup.
They tried it out. It was an option for him.
You have to though.
this my thing with the Kyrie Luka thing is in block. Let me know if you got something to say on this. I just don't know if Kyrie like being second fiddle. Like Luka gonna pound that rock. When is Kyrie gonna get his little time in the sunlight?
I don't really see Kyrie. I don't see him as being that type of player though.
He not.
I really don't see him as being like the guy that really wants the ball all the time.
I felt like that's why he ended up leaving Cleveland when he did, because he felt like Bron, stole some of his shine.
Nah, I think he left Cleveland because LeBron was a diva. Everybody talking about how Kyrie is a diva. LeBron was a diva. I don't think LeBron is the best teammate.
You got some guys like that, man. That's not the best. That you just, man. I don't care how good you are, man. I just can't play with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like Kyrie, bro. Me personally, I like him. I like his game. I like what he brings to the table. Like the dude can take over a game if he needs to, but if he don't need to, then he finna do what he got to do to win the game.
Yep,
and that's how I feel about Kyrie. I think him going to Dallas, I think that's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good look.
You already got a dog over there. I mean, what's the other kid name?
Luka.
Yeah, Luka. You got him.
Then you got.
I don't really watch basketball like that, bro.
Yeah, I know you told me.
But now I've been kind of paying attention a little bit now, and when it gets to the finals and the playoffs, I start watching. But
that's
football. You waiting for football season?
I can't watch it.
We finna go back to like the Donnie Nelson days when he was coaching. Everybody talking about where's our defense. We don't need no defense. We better put up 130 points a game.
Yeah.
Outscore us.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think that's where it's headed, man. I think it's gonna be good.
All right. So
no, they gotta play some defense, guys.
They gotta play some defense.
I think when Kleber gets, Kleber, he's just the anchor. He just sets the matchups up better when he's on the floor, and they can rotate better defensively when Kleber's out there. Like whatever it is that he does, and I think it's his ability to guard on the perimeter. He can switch out on smalls, and it just anchors the D. So, their defense has been trash since he's been hurt. So I think coming back, even with Kyrie, you see Kyrie, and I think Kyrie big and play a little defense. Nobody can stop anybody one-on-one. It's the NBA. So, and the way they call fouls is ridiculous. Yeah, I talked about the league is soft. So, really trying to just play that much defense, you got to play situational defense. And I think that's where Kidd comes in. He knows how to strategize, and because if you watch the Mavs, like I do every night, these dudes not running plays. They just out there hooping.
Well, that's what they did when he won. You know what I'm saying?
But that's going to change in the playoffs. I didn't mean to cut you off. But when they get to the playoffs, that's when those set pieces, those actions, all those things to create those shots. But right now, they just going out there hooping.
But you know what I'm talking about? How they didn't always run a play. They had the little high double screen on the wings that they would do with Jason Terry. But for a lot of that playoff run, that 2011, I guess, it was the kind of run and gun. It
was a run and gun. We was putting up points.
I really want to see the rotations he come out with when Kyrie will be able to dominate the ball, because the best they had was when Brunson, they knew how to play off of each other, when they just knew how to work, and when whoever had the ball and opportunity, they played well together. I want to see if Kyrie and Luke can find that in this quick turnover, because playoffs gonna be here April.
They're gonna find it, man. It won't.
Kyrie don't prove that he can play off the ball though. When he played with LeBron, LeBron was a point forward, and most of the time LeBron was bringing the ball up court. Like, so he knows how to play off the ball. So that's a plus for us.
No, but like I said, I felt like he didn't like LeBron. Kind of like, all right, I got it. It's my turn. Like, I kind of felt like he was kind of in his feelings a little bit, was why he left. So that's why I kind of feel like he don't want to be second fiddle. And he can definitely prove me wrong, but I want to see it too.
That was a young Kyrie too.
If I'm the point guard, let me be the point.
Right.
Well, the same thing happened. The same thing really happened in Brooklyn. Well, Kyrie and KD, they were getting along. In comes Harden, a ball dominant guard. Kyrie took a back seat and did like he did with LeBron. He took a back seat and let him dominate. Still got his, did what he needed to do. But I think that pissed him off.
Yeah.
You know, someone came in here, just like LeBron came in here. I mean, this situation is different. He's coming in. So, I mean, as quirky as Kyrie is, I mean, he's well thought out. And when the ball hits his hands, it goes in the hoop. So let's go.
All right. So this is my guy. We text all day, every day. You don't even want to see our text trend. He's like, do you feel Kyrie is the best number 2 in the West? What do you think, Mo?
Kyrie?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Name a better 2 in the West.
So who do we?
Please don't say Anthony Davis because he's not reliable.
I wasn't gonna say Anthony Davis. What I say? I like Sacramento 2, De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. However you want to do that, that's in the running. I like
De'Aaron Fox should even be in the talking.
I like Jordan Poole off Steph. I like.
Oh, man.
That boy done went to sleep. Poole, come on now.
Who else do we have out there? We had Jamal Murray from the Nuggets.
Now Murray balling now, but best number 2, nah.
I mean, like, but you know the Pels. You got Zion and Brandon Ingram. Like, what I said was the Nuggets play good together. I say Memphis play good. Like, they don't have to have a number 2 because they play so good as a unit. Everybody know their roles. So although Kyrie might be the best number 2, are they meshing? Do they have a good rapport with each other, knowing what to do without just reacting off that player like Mahomes and Kelsey? You know,
I mean, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a couple of games for them to get that chemistry down. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. And then you fit to get Luka. He got to be 100%. You know, so. Okay.
But
it's going to take some time.
When we come to these playoffs, them teams at the top, Denver, Memphis, they've been together for at least 3 years each. Yeah. So, you know, game 6, game 7, when certain things on, they know what they're gonna do. They you know what I'm saying, they have a better feel. And that's what I'm talking about. In those kind of moments right there, where it's just the newness hasn't really benefited you in those moments. And
I give Denver the upper edge on chemistry. Memphis.
Nah. You give it to Memphis.
Nah.
Memphis better shut up this year, because if Memphis don't do nothing this year, they wouldn't go end up closing. They're gonna end up making some changes because they got the people, they got the pieces. They just got to do it. They got to deliver.
Yeah,
I got Sacramento beating Memphis.
I'm not sure if everyone is kind of settled and kind of satisfied in their role in Memphis. Like, okay, Ja's the guy, but they don't know who is. I don't want to say showing up, but to me, when I watch them, you know, sometimes I see Brooks. He trying to force it. I'm trying to see. I forget the other slow light skin.
Bang. Yeah, I like Bang.
I like that.
To me, he's their number 2.
Bang is the number 2. Brooks has declined.
And the big center.
Jackson.
When it's wishy-washy, to me, that don't work. Kind of back to our Utah. We talked about Utah a couple years ago. Like, I don't like that. I like when it's number 1, number 2. And then I try to rely on the third, but number 1, number 2. And so to me, when you can easily identify that 2, then those kind of
serves you better.
I think so.
But just looking at the game, Bane has proven that he's number 2.
Yeah, but that's what's the damn JJ the
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson. Like he's capable at any moment of, you know what I'm saying, being hot that night too. And they just got good pieces. They back up Jones. They Clark, like, you know, they know who they are. So they got to prove it this year to me. Who else we got? Let me look at the standings real quick.
Sacramento.
Hey man, I like what Mike Brown has done with Sacramento, because they got to do Herter. They got Malik Monk playing good.
Which was something Lakers
playing good. Like they doing their thing.
Sacramento ain't never been good.
Hey, we know that, Brock. And okay, man. So
they ain't winning nothing.
Hey, they are 3rd in the West. They are going. I say,
bro.
yeah. See, they will be playing the Mavericks right now.
They don't know smoke, no smoke.
Oh yeah, they gone, bro. Like, come on, man. It's
All right.
separate.
And the Clippers, can they pull some stuff together with Paul George and Kawhi? And I think Tyronn Lue is really showing to be a better coach than we gave him when he was in Cleveland.
No, then you gave.
Oh, yeah.
I told you Lue was coaching, man.
Hey, LeBron was coaching, man. Tyronn Lue was not coaching.
Lue a good coach. I like Lue. I think he's better than Rivers.
Trust me, no, Lue was coaching them boys up.
But hey, yeah, I like what he's doing with the Clippers. I wouldn't expect them to be, saying where they are right now.
Is Rivers not coaching anymore?
Yeah, he's Philly.
Yeah,
Who
with Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
But those are two LeBron former coaches in Tyronn Lue and Mike Brown making noise in the West this year. So I would like to see if they can do better, in the playoffs, at least win a round, because who is LeBron's best coach? Who's the best coach that we can talk to LeBron? Is it Spoelstra?
Nah. They had 4 out Hall of Famers over there. They ain't have nothing to do with coaching.
Like I was telling this man.
They ain't have nothing to do with coaching.
Playing, man.
He's been in the league a while too.
But hold on. I'm sorry. Has Miami ever been sorry? Since the trio has broken up.
They've been
to a finals. So spoken coach.
I think they need some different pieces. I don't think they're gonna really make too much more noise.
Man, he made them boys get in line, man. Remember they because the reason how they beat the Mavs that year, or how Mavs beat them,
the referees cheated.
They had 3 referees, but they didn't have defined roles. They wasn't sure who was supposed to do what.
Vegas spoke. Vegas said, "Hell no, Mavericks not winning this year. We got more money to make with Miami."
You say Dwayne Wade was Bron's best coach. Well, what they want? No, they didn't win their first year. They lost to Dallas their first year, or they lost to
Miami?
Yeah, they didn't win because they lost to Dallas, and then they won against San Antonio. Then they lost. Now when did they play OKC? Because they beat OKC second, huh? So
yeah, OKC, yeah, because
they lost to Dallas, beat OKC.
Yeah, they
lost to Dallas, beat OKC. And I'm gonna go to my grave saying that they did not call a foul on Bron at the end of the game on KD. So they won against OKC. That's a young team. And that's on OKC for breaking that team up. But they beat them. OKC wasn't supposed to beat LeBron. So they beat the team they were supposed to beat. That next year, they beat. So they won the second and third year, lost the first and fourth year.
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
They lost that last year.
Okay, and that's when he left. So year 3 was so lucky. Like I swear, I know Greg Popovich. That's the worst coaching decision he probably gonna go to his grave with, was taking Tim Duncan out in a defensive possession. Like that makes no sense to me.
He was following the script, man. He got the script early that morning.
He got the script. Oh man.
Hey man, like
the script, bro.
As a coach, and I feel like that was what he did. He outthought himself. How you gonna take Timmy out on that possession? That's just
defensive anchor. Right, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and
well, I think he was counting on. I think he's counting on make free throw.
So who missed what? Kawhi, Ginobili, somebody missed the free throw at the end.
Yeah. And so they make that free throw, and now Miami inbounds. They don't, they're not a liability defensively because they still need to get a stop. I think that's what he's doing.
It don't matter. I feel he's gonna go to the grave regretting that one decision there
with not a lot of time. You know what I mean? So they got to get it up and get it in quick. So
you see how much he don't age since that decision.
Man, Pop's been looking old. What you talking about? But man, I ain't got no other topics, fellas. Man, this was fun. Block, I appreciate you coming in when you was able to, man.
Yeah, man, keep doing great things, man. I see your videos and stuff, man. Y'all boys representing. Y'all killing C King over there.
Yeah, we putting a hurt on them, bro.
Man,
we putting a hurt on them. They getting better though.
They are. They did well against Katie.
Yeah,
they were in that game.
Yeah, they getting better. They'll get more players, and they starting to buy into the system, and I think they'll be that's going to be good this next year coming up too. So,
So tell us a little bit about your son before we get out of here. He's a running back. That's about all I know. Sophomore. He ranked in the nation. Texas. What we got?
Yeah, he's probably like in his class. He's the number 1 running back in Texas in his class.
Okay. So that's 2020.
That's 2025.
2025.
Okay. I mean, man, he just got it, bro. Like, ain't really not too much to say, man. He been having it at a young age, man. I knew he was gonna have it because he would drag me to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you got somebody dragging you to the gym, I'm like, bro, he won it. So
all right.
For me, it's like if he won it, then I can give it to him.
Yeah.
So I was able to give it to him like real early, man, and he took it, and he's still, he's still taking it, and he's just running with it, man. He's getting it, man. Like that's.
So, I got one viewer out there. His son is a sophomore, just bench press 315.
Yeah.
Just bench press 315. I'm like, I felt bad. I ain't never reached that threshold.
That boy is a beast. As a freshman, that boy QC King. And I told them boys out that same day, walking the halls. I said, watch this freshman from he's gonna tear y'all ass up. Next day they came. Here's that. I told you.
Yeah.
That boy beast.
Y'all having the games up this way again, man? Because I know y'all broke Allen record that they had, home record.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll. Man, that won't come out till later, so I won't know the preseason games until like they release the schedule. But I'll let you know if we have anything up there. Hopefully we do. Hopefully come up there and play Geyer and Allen.
Blaylock coach up there and didn't.
Yeah.
Then
Ryan.
Yeah. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of you. And all your sons, man, who follow in dad's footsteps. You even got one in junior high. I'll be bragging on like I'll be at the game. I'm like, man, his son was for 1,000 yards, 7th grade and 8th grade. These fishtails, but that's the real deal. Holyfield.
Yeah, man. They blessed, man. That's all I can say, man. They just blessed, bro. Like,
it's talented.
You know what I'm saying?
And, if you can just, hopefully, one day we have a channel where, where we reach the masses. But my man is a full-time trainer. For those who might see this show later, future people going to the NFL and draft combine training, he got you covered. I don't know where to reach you at, Block, if you want to go and chime in on that.
Just the website, man, armsportsperformance.com. Go check us out, man. That'll show you everything you need to know.
All right, and he's not just talking that talk. He walked that walk, people, and he's a KC fan. If you paid attention, and we're gonna have him on.
I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh,
I'm a Steelers
fan. Well, man, DP, he's a Steelers fan too. He wasn't here for that.
KC is second.
But man, I love everything about it. Great day to be a Lumberjack. And before we go, you played with Brian Waters, right?
Yeah, I did.
My man played at North Texas with Brian Waters. He played DB.
What you doing up? Hold up.
Boy, be nasty.
What is that?
He was a North Texas Eagle.
Oh, Eagle?
Yeah. So, So
I play with Waters, man.
Yeah, my boy B Waters, man, up in KC.
Yeah, man.
Hey, that's my guy right there, man. Good dude.
Oh, it's nasty.
Be nasty.
So it's such a small world. So
when I met him, he wasn't putting sheets on mattresses in the dorm when he was
nasty. I had some dogs. There was some dogs on the line that year. You had Brian Waters, you had Willie Rowe.
Yeah, I saw that.
Will Shields. You had John Tate. You had Jason Dunn. You had Tony Gonzalez. Bro.
Tell us a Tony G story so we can end on with a laugh, man.
Tony G, man, honestly, I really don't have any Tony G stories, bro. He wasn't in my room. He wasn't in the running back room, so I don't really have any stories on him.
Give us the Priest home story, then.
Yeah, Priest home.
Priest, let me see if I got anything on Priest, man. Priest was like to himself, man. Like he was real, like he really didn't hang a whole lot. So I ain't got no story, bro.
So what you play with Priest for 3 years? You ain't got no stories, man. Priest ain't that
4 years. Bro.
So okay, give us a Dante House story. The human the human juke buddy.
Human jukebox. Like honestly, let me see. It's really no funny stories, bro. It's like really nothing. Like really, it's just we just.
All right, then I got a funny story about my boy Lawrence
chill,
Pullen,
bro. Like it wasn't nothing like.
You remember Lawrence Pullen, I know, right?
I remember LP. Now LP was a funny dude.
All right, so this is when I think you was on squad when we went to Monroe. We went to Monroe and played Monroe in Monroe. Was you on the team?
Let me see. I don't think so.
I'm trying to, because it was me and Freddie. You didn't come in with Richard and Freddie? You came in after him?
Monroe, which Monroe?
Louisiana Monroe. That's what I'm saying. Did you come in with Richard and Freddie, or did you came in the year after them?
I came in with them.
Well, then, yeah, you had to be there because Freddie was starting opposite of me. You might not have traveled that game. I don't know. Yeah, we were Louisiana Monroe because I love playing in Monroe. I love their fans because they can drink and they be drunk as hell at the game, right? So real quick, Pullen, that's his last name. And so we all sitting on the bench and we hear this dude like, Pullen. We like ignoring him. Like we just talk. Pullen. And we find like, what you want? Pullen. Pull on my nuts. Oh, man. We bust out laughing, man. Hey, that was the funniest line we ever heard from a fan, man.
Man, I don't know what. I don't remember that, bro. I must not have. I don't know.
Well, the receiver, offense go on the sideline, the receivers all on that little one bitch or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, you probably didn't hear it, but oh my God, man. I will never forget that story. You have to think of a story because we're gonna bring you on here, man.
I'm gonna have to think of something, bro. I'm gonna have to think of something I'm gonna have to think of something on somebody.
All right, man.
I don't know who it's gonna be.
I appreciate the love. Love, peace, and hair grease, fellas. To the next time.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right,
man. Be blessed.
Good seeing y'all, bro. Y'all take care.